Hi my dear students, welcome to my biology class. Let me begin today's class with the two questions. Why do we sweat and why do we urinate? Have you ever thought about this? You will get answers to this question during this class. So, today we are going to learn about the topic excretion in human beings. Excretion in human beings. We have already learned that our body produces carbon dioxide and water during cellular respiration. Those two are the waste products that are produced at the time of aerobic respiration. Like this, several harmful products as well as useful products are being formed in the human body during metabolism. And what is metabolism? It is the sum total of chemical reactions that take place in the living body to maintain the living state. During metabolic reactions, several nitrogenous wastes are formed in our body. The major nitrogenous wastes are formed in the human body are ammonia, urea and uric acid. Nitrogenous waste. What are they? Ammonia, urea and uric acid. Ammonia, urea and uric acid. Out of these, ammonia is the highly toxic substance. Urea is the least toxic substance. Uric acid is less toxic than ammonia. So, out of these, ammonia is the most toxic one. Do you know how these ammonia molecules are formed in human body? These ammonia are formed in the small intestine during the breakdown of protein. When we have proteinaceous food like milk, meat and egg, those proteins will be digested in the small intestine. At the time of breakdown of these protein molecules, many ammonia molecules are formed with the help of certain bacteria in the small intestine. As these molecules are highly toxic, these ammonia molecules move into the liver. The further processes will be taken place in the liver. Then what is the role of liver here? Liver converts this highly toxic ammonia into the least toxic urea. That urea is circulated through the blood and is finally reached at the kidney for filtration. What would happen if these nitrogenous waste accumulate in our body? Certainly, they affect the vital organs like the heart and kidney. They influence the functioning of these vital organs and causes imbalance in the physiological functions of the body. For example, when there is excess water in the body, the excess water dilutes our body fluid so that the equilibrium will be collapsed. The water balance of the body fluid will be changed. It causes hypertension or high blood pressure. So similarly, it affects many functions in the body. Then what is excretion? The process of expelling nitrogenous waste like ammonia, urea and uric acid out of the body is called excretion. Did you get it? So what is the main aim of excretion in the human body? To maintain a chemical balance in the body fluid, to maintain the living state. Before we begin with the structure and function of human excretory system, I must talk about the excretion and the type of excretion and the excretory organs of lower animals. Lower animals like protozoans, sponges, they excrete ammonia through their general body surface by diffusion. But in the case of some invertebrate animals and vertebrate animals, they have developed system for excreting the nitrogenous waste from the body. Some aquatic animals remove their nitrogenous waste, that is ammonia, to the water. As ammonia is highly soluble, it is easy to excrete into the water. Some reptiles, they excrete the nitrogenous waste in the form of uric acid. But in the case of mammals and human beings, we excrete the nitrogenous waste in the form of urea. Now let's move into the topic. First of all, let's study the structure of human excretory system. Structure of human excretory system. Human excretory system consists of a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, a urinary bladder and a urethra. What are they? A pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, urinary bladder and urethra. Human kidneys are bean-shaped and reddish brown in color, which are located in the lower abdominal region on either side of the vertebral column. Then let's study the structure of human excretory system in detail with the help of a diagram. So look at the board. Bean-shaped, a pair of kidneys, bean-shaped kidneys. A pair of ureters, urinary bladder, urethra. So let's label them. Kidneys, a pair of kidneys. This is the right side kidney, right kidney. This one is the left kidney. A pair of ureters. Ureter, the right ureter. So right kidney, right ureter. Then this one, left kidney, left ureter. Urinary bladder. Then urethra. Okay, these are the main parts of human excretory system. So a pair of bean-shaped kidneys. Here you look at the diagram. This is right kidney and this one left kidney. The right kidney is at a slightly lower level than the left kidney. See, you can easily observe from the diagram. So lower position is just a slightly upper one. A tube, ureter, arises from each kidney, from both the right and left kidney, and a pair of ureters enter into a muscular bag-like structure called urinary bladder. There is a urethral sphincter. It can open and close. So it causes urination. The next part of the human excretory system is the associated blood vessels. Associated blood vessels. They are renal artery and renal vein. Renal artery and renal vein. Renal vein. Then you look at the diagram. So I draw a branch of a renal artery. This is renal artery. Next, renal vein. renal vein. Here, let's understand the function of each part. The human kidneys are the primary excretory organs where the urine is produced with the help of filtration units called nephrons. I will come to the topic nephron after explaining about the structure. The kidneys are the main organs of producing urine. Then what is the role of ureters? Ureters transport urine and the urinary bladder store the urine. Urethra helps in the urination. The urine is expelled through the urethra. Then what's the role of renal artery? A renal artery brings dirty blood to the kidney. Here the dirty blood means the blood that is rich in nitrogen waste, nitrogenous waste like ammonia, urea, etc. At the same time, the blood is oxygenated because it is carried to the kidney by renal artery. Did you get it? So next one, renal vein. Renal vein collects the impure blood and also some essential components like reabsorbed amino acids, water, glucose, and finally those substances will be joined with the circulatory system. Did you get it? So, did you get the functions of renal artery and renal vein? Renal artery brings the dirty blood, that is the nitrogenous waste blood. The renal vein collects the reabsorbed substances and finally that is joined with the circulatory system. So, both renal arteries and renal veins play a major role in the filtration of blood through the kidneys. Then next, let's study the internal structure of human kidney. Internal structure of human kidney. Human kidney. Now you look at the board. Let's study the parts of human kidney. I have told you that it is bean-shaped structure. Bean-shaped structure. It has an outer part called the cortex. Cortex. So I'm going to draw the cortex now. Cortex. This is the cortex and the inner part called the medulla. The inner part called the medulla. Here, this is the tubular part, ureter. Ureter. Then the front part, the beginning of the ureter is like a funnel shaped part that is called pelvis. Pelvis. These ureters as well as the nerves, blood vessels enter into the kidney through a notch or a depression called hilum. Hilum. Okay, then in the medulla there are medullary pyramids. Medullary pyramids. These are the medullary pyramids. Medullary pyramids. Okay, these are the main parts of the human kidney. Outer cortex, inner medulla with the medullary pyramids, then pelvis, then it is continued as a tubular part called ureters. This kidney consists of millions of filtration units called nephrons. Nephrons. These nephrons are the structural and functional units of the kidney because they provide the shape to the kidney and also they perform the filtration, the main function of the kidney. The two main functions of human kidney are production of urine and osmoregulation. What are the two processes or two functions? Production of urine and the osmoregulation. So osmoregulation means maintenance of a particular amount of water in the body fluids by the reabsorption of water. Later you will understand about it when we study about the urine formation. Have you got the structure of human excretory system? Then let's go to the next part, that is the nephron, its structure and function. Structure of nephron. A nephron is the filtration unit of the kidney. Just before I have told you that a kidney consists of millions of nephrons. Those are the filtration units in the kidney. A nephron has mainly two parts. One is Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule. And the second part is renal tubule. Renal tubule. Then let's study the parts of a nephron with the help of a diagram. A nephron has, I have told you that a nephron has Bowman's capsule and the renal tubule. So this is called the Bowman's capsule, a hollow cup-shaped part. Bowman's capsule. Okay, then the renal tubule has three parts. The first highly coiled part called proximal convoluted tubule. Proximal convoluted tubule or PCT. Here I just label PCT. The next part is a U-shaped part that is called loop of Henle. The U-shaped part is loop of Henle. B, loop of Henle. The third coiled part is called DCT or distal convoluted tubule. Distal convoluted tubule. Okay, these are the parts of the renal tubule, and this distal convoluted tubule is opened into a collecting duct. Collecting duct. Okay, then this Bowman's capsule, I have told you that Bowman's capsule is a hollow cup-shaped structure. It consists of a tuft of blood capillaries called glomerulus, and this glomerulus is formed from the afferent arteriole. Okay, this is called afferent arteriole. This one afferent arteriole. Okay, the tuft of blood capillaries inside the Bowman's capsule is called glomerulus. Glomerulus. Okay, then here afferent arteriole is one of the branches of renal artery which brings dirty blood or the impure blood to the kidney for filtration. while the efferent arteriole that leaves from the Bowman's capsule, and it forms as a small capillaries, very thin capillaries around the PCT and DCT, like this. Finally, these are joined with the renal vein. Renal vein means it forms as peritubular capillaries that runs parallel to the Henle's loop. Okay, this is the structure of human nephron. Did you get the parts? The Bowman's capsule with the afferent arteriole, glomerulus. The afferent arteriole leaves from the Bowman's capsule. The parts are PCT, Henle's loop, DCT, and finally it opens into a collecting duct. Now let's study how the urine is formed in the nephron. These nephrons are tightly packed inside the kidney. The upper part, like this, the Bowman's capsule along with the DCT and PCT are located in the cortex part of the kidney. Suppose this is a kidney. So it has outer cortex and inner medulla. And here the Bowman's capsule and the PCT, DCT are located in the cortex region, while the U-shaped Henle's loop is located in the medullary region. This is medullary region. Okay, then that is the way the nephrons are packed. The Bowman's capsule, PCT, DCT are in the cortex region, and the U-shaped Henle's loop that form as medullary pyramids in the kidney. They are tightly packed inside the kidney and form as a functional unit inside the kidney. Now let's study how is urine formed in the filtration unit, that is nephron. So let's begin from the renal artery. So renal artery. This renal artery brings the impure blood to the kidney. Impure blood here means the dirty blood that contains a lot of nitrogenous waste like ammonia and urea, that is given by renal artery to the kidney. So renal artery has blood with the nitrogen waste. Okay, then renal artery to the afferent arteriole. Afferent arteriole. So this afferent arterioles bring the blood to the glomerulus. Glomerulus. So glomerulus, as it is capillaries, the lumen is narrow, the blood pressure is high. So with the help of this high blood pressure, ultrafiltration takes place in the glomerulus. Certain dissolved components of the blood along with the water, nutrients, ammonia, urea, uric acids will be diffused into the lumen of Bowman's capsule. So here, when it is diffused into the lumen of Bowman's capsule, here a filtrate is formed. So a filtrate is formed in the lumen of the Bowman's capsule. That filtrate contain a lot of water and useful as well as harmful substances. When the filtrate is passed through the PCT, so just I am showing the movement of the filtrate through the PCT. Then what happens here? Reabsorption of useful substances and water happens or take place here with the help of the peritubular capillaries that are connected with the PCT and Henle's loop. So exchange of materials, reabsorption, the blood reabsorbed the excess substances from the filtrate. So useful components like water, amino acids, glucose, then certain kind of minerals or salts are reabsorbed into the blood. The remaining fluid is again transported to the rest part of the nephron. that is through the Henle's loop and the DCT. So the filtrate contain large amount of what? Nutrients. Then water and nitrogen waste. So what happens in the next step? Reabsorption of useful substances. Reabsorption of water, nutrients, etc. Then after reabsorption, the filtrate is again transported through the Henle's loop and DCT. Then again what happens? Maximum reabsorption of water at DCT also. Then again, if there is excess water in the fluid, the reabsorption of water take place in the collecting duct also. Finally, a concentrated urine is produced in the collecting duct. So there are many collecting ducts in the kidney. All those collecting ducts open together to the pelvis of the ureter. So the urine is ultimately collected there and is transported through the ureters. So let's begin from here. Reabsorption of water and nutrients. Again it is passed through the Henle's loop and DCT. Then what happens? Again reabsorption of water. Then finally the urine is produced in the collecting duct. Okay, this is the flow chart that explains the formation of urine in the nephron. Do you know the composition of urine? It is a slightly pale colored fluid which contains about 25 to 30 grams of urea along with a large amount of water, some salts and pigments. It is slightly acidic in nature. The pH is about 6, so it is slightly acidic in nature. Then the process of urination is called micturition. The process of elimination of urine with the help of urethral sphincter through the urethra is called micturition or urination. Now, did you get the topic? How the urine is produced in the nephron? So, what is actually the function of nephron? Urine formation, thereby osmoregulation. So, what are the two main functions of kidney? Osmoregulation and urine formation. By producing urine, the kidneys can regulate the water volume in the body fluids. That's why it can perform two major functions. Those are osmoregulation and urine formation. In the beginning, I had asked you two questions. Why do we sweat? Did you get the answer? Then we sweat to get rid of certain amount of nitrogenous waste from the body. Our sweat contain a little amount of lactic acid, a little amount of urea and some salts and water. So through the sweat glands, our body can get rid of, or body can expels a little quantity of nitrogenous waste. Both sweat glands and our kidneys perform a specific function, a useful function for the body. They avoid the accumulation of nitrogenous waste or harmful substances in the body. Thereby, they protect our body from further problems. I hope you understood the topic well. Today we have learned about the excretory system, its parts and structure, then the human internal structure of the human kidney, then structure of nephron and its function, how is urine produced in the nephron. So with this I conclude my session. Thank you and have nice moments.